Okay, this is Orlando Wilson. And what I want to talk about in this video is something that people approach me about regularly, and that's gold scams. The gold business, to start off with, the gold business is a very interesting business, but it's a business where you have to be extremely careful. You have to do your due diligence, you have to know who you're dealing with, and you have to be extremely careful. People on a regular basis, I'm sure there's people losing a lot of money multi times a day on fraudulent gold deals, etc., etc. Now, the gold scams, a lot of the people that's involved in the gold scams are very, again, with all scammers, they're very, very professional. They put a lot of work into what they're doing. One of the main places I've had over the years where people approach me where they've been scammed for gold is out of Mali. And Mali has gold, but again, they have a lot more scammers than they do have gold. What generally happens with the scams out of Mali? A lot of the scammers will advertise their services on forums, online, etc., and people will approach them. And they're generally selling discount gold, or gold that's at a lower than usual price. So people think they're going to make good percentages on buying the gold. What usually happens, the people are sent pictures, videos of the gold with their names on it, with dates, with this and that. This is your gold, the gold is real, etc. You know what? The gold bars could be real, or they could just be lead covered in gold paint. What generally happens then is the scammers will say to the potential clients, okay, you pay the shipping fee, we'll send how many kilos of gold to a refinery somewhere and you can check it out. And once it's all good, you can send us the money, we'll do the deal, etc. You know what? These scammers, and a lot of people are taken because the scammers are not asking for the price of the gold, they're just asking for a shipping fee. What people don't realize is these scammers just want the shipping fee, because to ship how many kilos of gold, 50 kilos of gold from Mali to Europe is going to cost quite a few $1,000s, which is good money for the scammers, especially if they're scamming multiple people at the same time. All right, pennies add up. So what generally happens is the shipping fee is sent to the scammers and the scammers disappear. That's it. They take the shipping fee and nothing turns up. Some of the paperwork the scammers are using, and I've got, again, people send me reams of documents on all the documentation these scammers have sent their victims, the people they're scamming. And again, the copies are good, if not real. They're coming from the same place the real documents come from, they've just been adapted. And a lot of the scammers will bombard you with paperwork, with licenses, company details, this, that, copies of passports, etc., etc. And it's all forged. I've had people send me passports, copies of passports, and as far as looking at the digital copy, it's a real passport. It's not, it's fake. It's just been modified. Very, very well modified. I'll touch on that a little bit in the future in a short while. But again, a lot of the Mali scammers, everything, they will send you all the documents you require and everything is a forgery. And again, these people, even though they're sending you pictures of gold, videos of gold, they're just after the shipping fee. I've had it where I had people on the ground in Mali. I had one client, they lost a lot of money because they paid for a percentage of the gold. I've had people driving around to different addresses in Mali, live streaming the address to the client, saying, okay, this is the address you've given us, there's nothing here. Or this is, I remember one place, okay, that office building doesn't exist. There's just like, you got some shack and some shops. That's it. You got scammed. But this is where a lot of clients, once they lose a lot of money, don't want to believe they've actually been scammed. And one person in particular, they were buying for somebody else and they spent their client's money, and now their client wanted to know where their gold was and where their money was. They got screwed. Another issue with gold, there's a lot of conflict gold being trafficked, usually out of Congo and various other countries. And I had one client approach me, and again, they wanted this issue dealt with, and they, again, hired our services. Their issues was they'd actually seen the gold. They flew into Tanzania and they saw the gold, how many kilos of gold that was going to be shipped to, I think, Dubai, etc., etc., etc. and they dropped a considerable sum of money on the gold. Because they seen the gold, it was real. They went to the refineries, etc., shook hands, went out for dinner, usual scam, and they believed the people that were scamming them. And again, this article, with a few articles up on the gold business, are up on the blog, on my blog, Truth Only Has a Few Friends, and we've even got people's passports, copies of their passports, up on the blog, so you can be wary of these people, of dealing with these people. And in this case, the passports that were provided were actually real. And the people that were involved in this, we knew who they were, etc. And one gentleman whose passport is up on the blog actually reached out to me and said, "I'll take my passport down. We didn't do this. We didn't do that." Yes, he did. He was living in Europe somewhere. I think he had an Italian, a Congolese guy with an Italian passport. And his details are on the blog. But what these people done is, once they took the client's money, the gold disappeared, because the clients lost possession of the gold. As soon as you can go in and pay for an asset, especially gold, that can be your gold. But as soon as you lose possession of that, it's not yours anymore. The gold was, as far as the clients knew, was taken into Oman, and from Oman, it was going into Dubai or somewhere. It just disappeared. The thing is, with gold can be melted down and turned into various objects, jewelry, chains, etc., very, very easily, or just melted down and formed into other bars. So this client, they paid for how much gold? They paid for it to be shipped, and everything disappeared. What were they going to do about it? Nothing. What could they do about it? Well, they could report it to the police, but again, what proof do they have? No proof. The gold's gone. Everything's gone. They got proof that they paid an account somewhere in Dubai, but again, that's it. So this is where you have to be extremely careful with the gold business. And even if you physically see the product, you have to make sure you keep control of the product. And again, if you're dealing in a legitimate gold business, again, the percentages generally are not that high. The profit can be good, but you have to be moving a lot of weight to make good profit. If you're buying and selling gold is an excellent investment. But again, trading in gold, you have to know what you're doing. And again, if you're buying gold, you need to make sure it is gold. So it's one of those businesses where if you don't understand the business, I say don't get involved in it. And again, as I've said, you've got to be extremely careful. Okay, make sure if you're buying gold, it's real gold. If you're buying a shipment, if you're buying gold bars, and people are telling you we're going to ship this to a location and you'll take a percentage, you know what? I'd be very wary about that, because once you pay for it, everything can disappear. So again, it's one industry, it's one business where you have to be extremely careful. We know people in the gold business. We've dealt with people over the years, legitimate dealers, legitimate dealers, etc. So again, it's if you're interested in that business, reach out to us and we can point you in the right directions or give you some guidance. But again, a general rule is don't go buying large amounts of gold online or any type of gold online expecting to get rich quick, because the chances are it's a scam. And again, always do your due diligence. We provide due diligence services for people that's investing in various projects, be it gold, be it real estate, etc. We provide a full range of investigation services. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. In the meantime, follow me along on social media. I prefer LinkedIn these days. We are up on the main platforms. We've got a load of videos up there. I've got an array of articles up on my blog, Truth Only Has a Few Friends. And there's a few up there, as I said, that talk about the gold business. I also have an array of books up on Amazon, talk about various aspects of the close protection, security business, etc. So follow us along, and remember, always do your due diligence. The gold business is as old as people are, and so are the scams that go with it. So always be very, very careful. So be good, stay safe, and as always, try to stay out of trouble.